You can control the love and the fortitude and the effort that you put into something. One thing you cannot control is time. You can't control that. That isn't for you to control. Is this lighting up your soul? And when I sat down with myself and asked myself those questions, clearly realized that your soul wants you to find that place. It doesn't matter where the place is, ultimately. But what matters is that you find it. It's took me a lot of time to really be honest about that with myself, because I've tried to deny it. What stories are you conditioning yourself in your mind that aren't true, that hold you back from the highest version of yourself, because you've just constantly told yourself this cycle, constantly told yourself, where I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do this, I can't do that, this is backwards, this is, who told you that? Is it even the truth? Are you lying to yourself? Because I was lying to myself for the longest time. Don't create a load of bullshit reasons why you're holding yourself back from the greatest version of yourself. I want to tell you why I'm back here. So ladies and gentlemen, I am back, and I'm sat here looking at the most beautiful view of the Gold Coast you've ever seen in your entire life. And to say I'm happy right now is an understatement. I've missed this place. 18 months I was on the road. 18 months podcasting. Dubai, LA, Miami, Spain, everywhere in between. And honestly, as soon as I landed back at Brisbane Airport, right? I landed at Brisbane Airport. I walked out into the terminal building, and it was like my heart opened up for the first time in 18 months. It was mad. It was mad. I just can't explain to you how connected I am to this country. Everywhere I go in the world, I compare it to Australia. And I've tried not to do that, but it's just not, it's not happened for me. It's not happened for me. So to be back here 18 months after I left the place, and to just feel why I came back here ultimately, because I want to give you a bit of a backstory in this episode. And the reason, I want to give you a real backstory, right? So 18 months ago, I decided to leave Australia to go and send this podcast to the next level. And we did that. You know, we left here. I was 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. We've done that to 33.5 at the time of this recording. I just felt called to absolutely send it. And we did. We've 20x the audience. And it's been great. Fantastic. But increasingly in the last 3 to 4 months, one thing that I've been pondering on is like, well, Frankie, you're trying to launch this rocket. You're trying to launch a rocket into this fucking stratosphere. And you're on uneven ground here, mate. And when you watch Elon Musk or anyone else launch rockets, they're launching them off stable ground. And you're trying to launch a rocket off what is equivalent to an ocean. You're waving around. You're all over the place. 1 minute you're in Dubai. 1 minute you're in the UK. 1 minute you're in America. 1 minute you're in Spain. So where are you? If you're everywhere, you're nowhere. And it really, when I started to understand this about myself, I was like, right, I need, even if it's not a base, I need to think about where was the last time I was truly happy, because I don't feel happy in this moment. Everyone else thinks you're smashing it. It looks great online, all that good stuff, blah, blah, blah. I get all that. But are you happy, Frankie boy? Is this lighting up your soul? And when I sat down with myself and asked myself those questions, I clearly realized that, oh man, like I can't deny it any longer. Like I need some stability. I need to go back to the last place I was happy in, and that place for me is Australia. And honestly, as soon as I landed, guys, it was like it unlocked a door for me. I tell you how much it unlocked the door for me, right? I was in England, right? And I went to Spain for 3 weeks. And inside the 3 weeks, I was happier than when I was in England, obviously. And we added 50% on the revenue of the business, content removal. I landed in Australia on the Friday. Bearing in mind I was jet lagged. But by Wednesday or Thursday of this week, I had added 73% on my business again, on top of the 50% I'd already added on in Spain. The reason for that? Because happiness and energy is real, right? And you've got to put yourself where you feel most alive, where you feel most congruent, and all that good stuff. And yeah, honestly, since I landed here, I've just been beaming from ear to ear. Really just fully embracing that energy that I feel here. Like the energy, I try and explain this to all these entrepreneurial guys in Dubai. Like, you lads do not understand. You've just lived in England and now you talk about Dubai and you think Dubai is the epitome of the world. And Dubai is great, fantastic, love the place. Nothing wrong with Dubai at all. Like, I can see why it's so good. But when I try and explain to them Australian energy and how you feel in Australian energy, you can't know what I'm talking about until you experience it. You can't. But it's just mad. I'm sat here looking at this view right now, and if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm beaming ear to ear because I've got uninterrupted views of the Gold Coast hinterland right the way from the Spit, which is a beach area down in the Gold Coast, right the way up to near on Broad Beach, right? And I will I might even try and get some B-roll put in of what this view looks like. Look on my Instagram, you'll see it every day. I can't stop talking about it. But this is what you need. This is what I needed to get to unlock the next level. I want to tell you why I'm back here, right? So I'm back here because I realized that in order to unlock the new level of self, I needed to go inward. And I don't know if many of you have listened to episode like in the 60s. I did one with a guy called Lino Holler. I've come back to do some like, journeys, some breath work with Lino for the next month, 30 days. And just to reset myself, to recalibrate myself. It's been a long, arduous 18 months. I've been through breakups. I've been through change of locations. I've been through trying to chase this podcast and put this podcast on the map in so many different ways. And I just wanted this month, this next 30 days to be about going inward, to learn more about myself so that I can bring my light to the world in the way that I'm meant to bring my light to the world. And honestly, guys, I don't know how I'm going to do that yet. I don't know what is the best way for me to do that. Is it the podcast? Is it something else? Is there something else meant for me? Who knows? You just don't know. All I know is that I'm 5 years into this podcast nearly, and I want to go to a whole new level if I'm going to do this. I want to go to a whole new level. I want to unlock a new fucking door. And in order for me to do that, I've got to learn things that I don't know about myself. And that is what coming here is all about. It's about the reset. It's about the regeneration. It's about the re-energization of myself so that I can take myself to the next level. What I want you guys to take away from what I'm saying right now is the fact of like, are you putting yourself in the location that allows you to vibrate at the highest frequency to unlock the door for the best version of yourself, right? That is the question I'm asking you. That is the question I'm asking you because it's the question that I had to ask myself. Like, where do you vibrate at the highest frequency? You absolute bald action hero. Where do you fucking vibrate at the highest frequency? Where does it light you up? And for me, this is the place. This is the place. And like, we're taught on social media right now to reverse engineer our life predicated on taxes, right? It's the wrong metric to measure your life on. Your life should be measured on where can I vibrate at the highest frequency so that I can unlock as many doors as possible, so I can so I can turn up to the world as the best version of myself, so that I can move myself to the next level, and so that I can impact more people and make more money, right? And your whole soul goal, your soul wants you to find that place. And if that place is Dubai, great. If that place is Miami, great. If that place is London, it doesn't matter where the place is ultimately. But what matters is that you find it, and you find it for yourself, and you're honest with where that place is. And I'm very honest with the world that the highest vibe frequency place that I have ever been in my life is the Gold Coast, Australia. It lights up my heart, and it's took me a lot of time to really, really be honest about that with myself in the last 18 months, because I've tried to deny it. I've tried to say, you can't go backwards, Frankie. You can't step back. You can't step back. You have to go forwards. You were taught to go forwards in life. Boxing taught you to go forwards. You don't step backwards. You step sideways, but you can't step backwards. And all this stuff, all these stories that I've conditioned myself. And here's the next thing I want to say to you all. What stories are you conditioning yourself in your mind that aren't true, that hold you back from the highest version of yourself because you've just constantly told yourself this cycle, constantly told yourself I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do this, I can't do that. This is backwards. Who the fuck told you that? Is it even the truth? Like, are you lying to yourself? Because I was lying to myself for the longest time. I remember going back to the corner of sparring session with Marcello Renda back in 2000, must be 17, something like that, 14 maybe, I don't know, 2000 something. Anyway, I go back to the corner and I remember this bit vividly. Lee Moxo said to me, I'll allow you to step sideways, but I'll never allow you to step backwards. And I was like, that hit me between the eyeballs, you know? But it's up to you to determine what is sideways and what is backwards in your life, you know? Because of that quote misplaced in my life in the wrong metric, I thought that, you know, going back to Australia, going back to the Gold Coast was a backward step. But no, it's sideways, because it's at the end of the day, I've needed to step back into this life to renew my energy, to refill my cup, to refill my purpose, to re-find out what it is I'm meant to be doing and how I'm meant to be bringing it. You all need a place to go back to, a place that resets you, a place that puts you in the right energy to take yourself forward. I need this place. I need the Gold Coast in my life. I think the Gold Coast is going to be in my life for the entire life. I don't know whether I'm meant to live here, whether I'm meant to have a base here and travel from here. I don't know all that yet, but I know that I'm not leaving it 18 months next time before I come back here. Not a chance. I've got great friends here. I've got great connections. The energy is great here. And it's time for me to be honest with myself and admit that, you know. And so many limiting beliefs are in my head that I have to overcome right now. Let me give you an example. You know, one of the limiting beliefs that I have at the moment is like, well, can you get to the level where you're one of the top education podcasters in the world by being here? And I'm working my way through doing that. You know, can you block off trips here, trips there, and come back and reset and all this kind of stuff? I'm having to overcome just as many limiting beliefs. I do not have all the answers that you guys think I have. I'm always working on myself. I'm always asking myself questions that cause me immense amount of pain to ask myself, because I have to sit there in the pain and go, right, where am I not free here? What do I have to learn about myself? What is it I'm not being honest about in my own life? Where am I holding myself back? Is that the truth? You know, is that answer to that question the truth of my life? No. Okay, well, stop bullshitting yourself. Come on, Frankie, like, get in the game, mate. Like, answer the question in the true, authentic form. Don't create the answer based upon preconceived ideas about a narrative that's not the truth. This is where you get stuck, right? So I want this episode to unstick where you are right now, to look at your life from a different lens. Ask yourself, am I in the right location? Does this location allow me to vibrate at my highest frequency so that I can unlock the next door to my life? Is there a place that's better suited for me? If there is, cool. Go to that place. What's to stop you? Don't create a load of reasons why you can't go back there or why you can't just don't create a load of bullshit reasons why you're holding yourself back from the greatest version of yourself. Quick one for you guys. You may have seen I've started to mentor people because I was getting people in the DMs reaching out, asking me for loads of different advice and guidance through many realms of what I've been through in my life. And I've created a mentorship program now that helps you create the reality that you want to live. It helps you make more money. On average, an extra 30 to 100K there is that's lying within your business that you don't know where it is or how to access it. I help people access that, and I also help them get every other area of their life right so they can improve their relationships, so they can improve the way they communicate, the way they network, and everything else. We work on the whole package. It's not just one area. We're not just in the pursuit of money, but we're in the pursuit of the purpose and the money and aligning it all together so that you go in the right direction to being the best version of yourself. If that is something that resonates with you on every level of your being and you want to work with me to take yourself to the next level, I would love you to click the link below this video and go to my mentorship page and make an inquiry. So I want to talk into what I'm here to do. I touched upon it, but I want to go into depth about it. I'm gonna put myself over the next 4 weeks. I'm gonna put myself through a couple of mushroom journeys because they've unlocked new levels of myself every time I've done them. And I've done them with Lino before. Don't DM him asking him to take you through it. He won't. You have to have a relationship with him to be able to do this kind of stuff, and I have that relationship, and I've built that relationship with Lino over the years. And every time I want to access a new level of self, I always go to Lino and I say, mate, we need to work. And full transparency, I was in England, and I'd literally been to the gym that morning, and I went to the gym. I was lifting weights, and I thought, right, I need a toilet break in between. So I go into the changing room of the gym. And this is where you start to see signs and synchronicities in your life that point you towards what you're meant to be doing. And I'd had Australia on my mind for a long time, but told myself I couldn't come back. And I walked into the changing room, and on the floor was the sunlight was shining through the window, which is rare for England, I know, but it was shining through the window. And on the floor, it just caught the sunlight and like kind of shined in my eye, was a $2 Australian coin. I bent down to pick it up. I didn't know it was $2. I thought it was a pound. I bent down to pick it up thinking it was a pound, just to look at it, because I thought it was weird how it was there. And it's a $2 Australian coin. I'm driving home from the gym, trying to forget about the Australia thing again, trying to put this Australia coin as a coincidence. And I turn off the road, and I'm trying to tell myself how the Australia coin in my head was a coincidence. And I turn off the road, and and I'm behind the National Australian Horse Riding Team's horse truck, and it says on the back, Australia on the back of it, and all down the arm, and it's like, welcome to Australia, welcome to the lucky country. And I was like, you just can't write this. So I get back home, and I call Lino, and he answers the phone. And I said, Lino, I think I'm ready to come back. I think I'm ready to unlock the new level of self. And we kind of put together a bit of a plan of attack of how we'd tackle that. So whilst I'm here over the next 4 weeks, I'm going to go through some mushroom journeys to unlock the new levels of self, to recreate new neuro-linguistic pathways, the same as I've done before. So I'm going into breath work, meditation, and just deep work to unlock these new levels. And I've had some powerful shifts in my life. I mean, the last world tour that I went on, that you've just witnessed, where I absolutely sent it on all levels, was unlocked by a mushroom journey. The tour before that, the summer before, was unlocked by a mushroom journey. So I know that these things unlock a new level of self. I'm not telling you that you should do that. I'm just saying that once you've asked the self-actualizing questions that unlock the new level of self, which I'm always asking and always journaling about, then it allows you to go in, right, okay, we can do this now, we step in. Now, let me just caveat this with this. You do not go and find mushrooms, you get called to do them. Now, that sounds a bit woo-woo, I understand that, but they call you. You're just gonna have to trust me on that. You're not just meant to go and randomly pick them up out of a field. I only do them in a guided way. I don't go recreationally and do anything like that. I just know that, I do it in a ceremonial way. I'm guided with it. I found it very powerful in my life. It allows me to shift realities, because I'm all about shifting timelines. This is what I do. My whole life has been about shifting timelines. I want to collapse time and move from one timeline of reality to the next timeline of reality. And I want to know how to move this podcast to the next level. And in the physical realm right now, I can think of 17 different ways to do it. But the truest way that I birth something new, take myself to the next level and move myself forward, it isn't created in the physical reality that we see right now. It's birthed out of thoughts and processes that I don't even have access to right now. I can't explain it to you, but I'm trying to articulate it as best I can. But guys, it just really, really it's powerful when you unlock it in the right way. But as you can see, I'm sure you can see from my energy that the location just lights me up. I'm sure you can feel it when I'm on the mic. I wanted to do this podcast episode on my own as I'm back here, because I like to document what I'm doing in life. And I remember first sitting in that spare room in the UK when I'd gone back there just before COVID. I remember sitting there and recording my first episode. And the intention was, I'll remind you of the why statement to this podcast. It was to help people break patterns and flip perspectives so that they can have clarity, focus, and success in all areas of their life, right? And I've lived this podcast lens through that. But one thing I've realized is that you can give to as many people as you can, and absolutely you should serve the world the best way that you can serve the world. But in order for me to serve you this next 12 months in the best way that I know how, I need to fill my cup up. And that's why I've come back to Australia, to fill my cup up, to learn the things that I don't know about myself that I need to know, to heal any wounds that may have been caused from the last 18 months, to lose any limiting beliefs that I don't even realize are limiting beliefs that are holding me back from the greatest version of myself. I will lead you on a path with this podcast to ask questions of yourself that you'd never dream of asking without some bald guy on the fucking internet or on this podcast calling you out to ask them. That's what I'm here to do. I really believe I'm here to do that on this planet. I'm here to just grab you, shake you, make you realize it's not always about this. It's about this. Why are you not asking this and instead of this? That's what I'm here to do. It's just give you a new frame of being, a new frame to ask questions in. I want to talk to you about this window of competence, right? What the window of competence that you see right now is things that you know in your reality. So this, if you're watching this on YouTube, the square where you see me in, the rectangle where you see me in on the screen right now, that is the equivalent of your window of competence. And when you step outside the window of competence, you see where my hands just disappeared to now, above this screen, which you can't see, that is where you learn all the things about yourself that you didn't previously know, so you can bring them back into this window of competence, so you can unlock that new level. The question you want to ask yourself is, what don't I know about myself? What do I have to learn about myself? Where can I access new levels that previously I've never unlocked before? So that, and raising your energy is one of those things that absolutely has changed my life. Like, just, I step out onto that Gold Coast beach and I am just in this awe of grace, of gratitude, just looking there, and it just changed my life. And you can unlock that by just changing your location and being honest about where you vibrate at the highest frequency. And like I said to you, it doesn't matter where that is, but your duty is your soul, your inner compass knows where that probably is, and you should 100% place yourself in that location so that you can access that new level of self. So yeah, so that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to unlock a new level so that I can bring my light into the world in a way that unlocks a whole new level, right? A whole new level, not just for me. This is about something way bigger than me. This is about doing something on the world stage and the world level that I can be proud of, that I can be thinking. And I know that there's so many levels with this podcast to unlock. I tell you how I know there's so many levels to unlock with this podcast, because the other day I got really angry with myself, and I thought to myself, and I wanted to, I almost, in my head, this didn't happen in my physical reality, but in my head, it was like, maybe you should quit the podcast. Maybe you should stop doing this. And I thought, right, okay, so this little demon's popping up in my head to tell me to quit. That means I'm so close to a breakthrough to go to the next fucking level, because that would never, because I tell you now, when you're in a boxing ring and you stood there and it's round 4 and you're sparring someone who's absolutely phenomenal level and you're taking an absolute pasting in your head, the question that comes in your head is, should you quit? Absolutely fucking not. Not on my life will I quit right now. I need to fight on and push through and find a new level of self. But it teaches you character, and you need to push yourself to the level where that quit in you comes into your mind. That demon comes into your mind and goes, you should quit. Maybe you shouldn't be doing this. Absolutely not, mate. We're here to fucking send it. We agreed when we started what the plan of attack was. We might not know the clear path to the plan of attack right now. We might not know the full way forward, but we're going to figure it out. And the only way that we figure it out is with time and fortitude and leaning in. Leaning out right now isn't what you're about. I'm speaking to you through this camera right now, through this microphone. I'm speaking to you right now. Lean in to that kind of stuff. Lean into it. Don't lean away from it. If you lean away, what happens in boxing? You get chinned. You lean back, your chin's up, you get knocked the fuck out, right? What happens in podcasting if I lean back from that? I end up quitting. And what? I not only quit on myself, I quit on what I've built. I quit on what I'm here to do in the world, right? I quit on everything that's not about my life. You know what I mean? I love this. It lights me up in a different way. So why would I quit? Guys, I don't ask you for much, but today I'm asking you for a solid favor. If you are getting value out of this conversation, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. It lets me know that we're making the right content and it's hitting your eyes at the right time. Here's the one thing I want you to take away. The real one thing I want you to take away. You can control the reps that you do, the love and the fortitude and the effort that you put into something and everything else. You can control all of those variables, but one thing you cannot control is time. The time it takes for you to see what you think you should see. You can't control that. That isn't for you to control. You are there to do the reps. You are there to do what you feel called to do, whether that's in business, your life, whatever it is. You're there to do those things. You're called to do those things and you execute on those things. Divorce yourself from the time it takes. Just remove that metric. When I was thinking about, maybe I should be further ahead right now than what I am right now. Who am I to judge that? Think about that. Who am I to judge that? When the time's right, the doors will open. When the time is right, the doors will open. The doors to everything you so desire will open when the time is right. When the amount of reps that you should have done has been done. When the amount of lessons that you were meant to learn have been learned. Everything comes in divine timing, right? I'm a very spiritual guy. I believe in God, all that good stuff I do, right? And I'm telling you now, when the time is right, the doors will open. I know that is true in your life and I know it's true in mine right now. And yet, my goal, and I haven't even done the mushroom journey yet, but I believe it'll unlock a new level of self. My goal is that this next 12 to 18 months, that I really step into my voice and carry it in a way that allows me to speak into your soul that went through this podcast, because I'm not creating a podcast like everyone else just so you hear it. Yeah, I'm trying to create a podcast that you feel as well. So you hear the words that I'm saying, but you feel the words that I'm saying in your heart, in your brain, in your soul, so that you can unlock a new level of self, right? Because that is what I feel I'm here to do. And that is what I'm going to, go to town doing. I'm going to keep this episode at this length. I'm going to keep it short for you, but really understand, guys, that location is everything. Where you put yourself is how you vibrate, is how you turn up to the world, right? And it's so important that you put yourself in a place where you align with, so that you can be the best version of yourself. I hope you've got some insights out of this episode. I didn't want to rattle on too long, but I wanted to come back. It's a very special moment for me being back in Australia. Like I said to you, I can't describe how I feel right now because no words put it into context. This place, I'm just connected to this place. I have been since 2014. It'll never stop for me, never stop. And I've been in denial too long about that. But I want you all this week to go back, listen to this episode twice if you have to. Remember this. I'm telling you some of the stories of my life, but there's questions in there that you need to ask yourself this week. And you need to ask yourself, get a journal out and really document those questions, because you want to know every area in your life that you're not free and you want to lean into them. Never lean back, always lean in. And that's it for this episode. I hope this hits your ears at the right time. And as always, much love. If you thought that video was good, why don't you press this one here? Go on, give that a little tickle.